Have you ever noticed how quiet your cat becomes when something's wrong? Unlike dogs, cats rarely show obvious signs of pain or discomfort. They don't cry, they don't whimper. Instead, they become still, distant, or strangely calm. But inside, something could be very wrong. One of the most overlooked dangers affecting cats is not a visible wound or a loud cough. It's internal parasites. Yes, worms. And they could be stealing your cat's health right under your nose without a single cry for help. Now you might be wondering, how can something so small cause so much damage? And how do these parasites even get inside a clean, indoor cat? The reality is both alarming and enlightening. In this video, we're going to expose the hidden world of feline intestinal worms, what they are, how cats become hosts, the subtle warning signs, and the actions you must take to keep your furry companion safe. If you've ever loved a cat, this information might just be life-saving. What are worms and why should you care? Worms, often referred to as intestinal parasites, are far more than a minor inconvenience. They're living organisms that feed off your cat's body, often in complete silence. Some attach to the intestinal lining, absorbing nutrients meant for your pet. Others float freely, reproducing rapidly. The result? A slow deterioration in your cat's well-being, one that many owners miss until it's dangerously advanced. There are several types, each with its own terrifying method of invasion. Roundworms, for example, are long and spaghetti-like, and they're most commonly found in kittens. Tapeworms, on the other hand, resemble flat ribbons and attach themselves to the walls of the gut. You might not see the whole worm, but their segments, looking like tiny rice grains, often appear near the tail or in the litter box. Then there are the more insidious invaders, like Giardia. These microscopic parasites are nearly invisible to the naked eye, but can cause severe digestive issues, and they're incredibly easy to overlook without lab tests. What's even more disturbing? Studies suggest that up to 45% of cats will experience at least one worm infestation during their lifetime. That means almost half of all domestic cats are at risk, including yours. How do cats get infected? If you think your indoor cat is safe, think again. The pathways for infestation are far more common than most people realize. One of the primary sources of infection is contact with contaminated feces. It might sound unlikely, but if your cat shares a litter box with another animal or steps on infected soil and later grooms itself, it could unknowingly swallow parasite eggs. Another alarming method of transmission is through fleas. Tapeworm eggs can live inside these common pests. When a cat scratches itself and swallows an infected flea during grooming, which happens more often than you might think, the parasite finds a new home in your cat's intestines. Even your cat's diet can be a source of danger. Raw or undercooked meat, though natural in appearance, may harbor parasitic larvae. Cats with outdoor access, or those who hunt insects, birds, or rodents, face a much higher risk. But that doesn't mean indoor-only cats are safe. Parasite eggs can be carried into your home on shoes, clothing, or even other pets. And for kittens, the threat starts early. Parasites like roundworms can be transmitted through a mother's milk during nursing. So even if a kitten looks healthy, it might already be a host before ever leaving the breeder or shelter. Why, you might not notice. Until it's too late. Worms are masters of stealth. In many cases, they cause no immediate symptoms. That's why so many cat owners are blindsided when their vet announces a heavy infestation. The early signs can be subtle. A slight decrease in appetite, an occasional bout of loose stools, or a mild lack of energy. These are easy to dismiss as normal cat behavior until things get worse. By the time the signs become undeniable, the infestation may already be affecting vital systems. Nutritional deficiencies, weakened immune response, and even internal blockages can occur. In kittens and senior cats, the damage can escalate fast, sometimes fatally. But the good news is this: if you know what to look for, you can act early. In the next section, we'll break down the specific symptoms that could signal a worm problem, including the strange, often misunderstood behaviors that many cat owners overlook. You'll learn how your cat's body tries to communicate distress, and what those subtle changes really mean. Don't ignore the whispers. Your cat might be trying to tell you something important, and the sooner you understand, the better chance you have of protecting them. You might be living with a sick cat and not even realize it. That's how deceptive worm infestations can be. These parasites don't always cause immediate, dramatic symptoms. But make no mistake, they're draining your cat's vitality, little by little, day after day. The secret lies in observation. Once you know what to look for, your cat's body becomes a map of silent signals, and every detail starts to matter. 1. Diarrhea that won't go away. It's not uncommon for cats to have an upset stomach from time to time. But if your cat is experiencing recurrent diarrhea, especially if it's watery, foul-smelling, or contains mucus or blood, don't ignore it. These are often the earliest signs of intestinal irritation caused by parasites. The worms damage the lining of the intestines, disrupting digestion and leading to inflammation. Persistent diarrhea for more than 48 hours should raise a red flag, even if your cat is still acting mostly normal. In kittens, it can lead to dangerous dehydration in just a short amount of time. 2. Vomiting, with or without visible worms. Occasional vomiting in cats is relatively common, but repeated episodes, especially after meals or without an obvious cause, may indicate parasitic invasion. Roundworms, for example, can migrate into the stomach and cause nausea. In advanced cases, cats may actually vomit live worms. These appear as long, white spaghetti-like threads. Even if no worms are visible, repeated vomiting is a major concern and should always warrant a veterinary consultation. It could mean your cat is struggling to process food or fighting off internal damage. 3. Strange changes in appetite. One of the more confusing signs of parasitic infection is how it affects your cat's hunger. Some cats suddenly lose interest in food, turning their nose up at favorite meals. Others become obsessively hungry, eating far more than usual, yet still appearing thin. In both cases, the body is struggling to compensate for nutrients being stolen by parasites. It's a game of survival at a cellular level, and if your cat's eating habits shift suddenly without explanation, it could be their way of coping with internal nutrient theft. 4. Unexplained weight loss. This one is often missed because it creeps up gradually. You may notice your cat's ribs becoming more prominent, or their spine and hips looking sharper than usual. Sometimes, the fur no longer hides what's happening beneath. Even if your cat seems to eat normally, weight loss can occur because parasites consume critical nutrients before the body can absorb them. Over time, this creates deficiencies, weakness, and even immune system failure. 5. Bloated belly, especially in kittens. A swollen abdomen in an otherwise lean or malnourished cat is a classic symptom of worm overload. This is especially common in younger cats, whose small bodies are quickly overwhelmed by the presence of parasites. The bloating isn't just from gas, it's a mixture of inflammation, fluid retention, and irritation caused by parasitic activity in the digestive tract. It's a strange and alarming contrast, a distended belly paired with bony limbs, and it's often a sign that the infestation has already reached a dangerous stage. 6. Dull, rough, or shedding fur. Healthy cats have coats that are sleek, soft, and shiny. When parasites take hold, that changes. The body diverts nutrients to fight the internal threat, leaving the skin and fur to suffer. You might notice dullness, patchy hair loss, or even greasy or flaky areas. Frequent grooming might actually increase during this time, not because your cat is cleaner, but because they're trying to self-soothe or address itchiness caused by internal imbalance. 7. Excessive scooting or licking around the rear. While scooting, when a cat drags its rear along the floor, is more commonly associated with dogs. Cats do it too when they're irritated or itchy near the anus. Tapeworms in particular cause intense itching, and their rice-like segments may cling to the fur around your cat's rear. If you see this behavior or notice your cat frequently licking or biting at that area, it's time for a closer look. 8. Lethargy and lack of playfulness. Cats are naturally curious and playful, even in small bursts. If your cat starts sleeping more than usual, avoids toys, or seems disinterested in interaction, don't chalk it up to laziness or age. Energy levels often drop when the body is fighting off internal threats. Parasites can also lead to anemia, especially in heavy infestations, by consuming blood or interfering with nutrient absorption. Pale gums, slow movement, and disinterest in food or water may be signs your cat's energy reserves are being drained. By now, you've learned how subtle and dangerous a worm infestation can be. But knowing the symptoms is only half the battle. Once you recognize the warning signs, the next steps are absolutely critical. This is the moment when your actions can make the difference between a quick recovery and a prolonged illness. And believe it or not, one of the biggest mistakes cat owners make is trying to handle it on their own. Don't guess. Confirm the problem. First, it might be tempting to rush to the nearest pet store, grab a random deworming product and hope for the best. But here's the truth. Not all worms are created equal. There are multiple species: roundworms, hookworms, tapeworms, whipworms, giardia, and each one responds to different treatments. What works for one type can be completely useless, or even harmful, for another. That's why step one should always be a visit to the veterinarian. Even if your cat's symptoms seem minor, only a vet can make an accurate diagnosis using fecal exams or more advanced lab tests. A single stool sample might not always detect every parasite, so your vet may recommend repeat testing or a combination of diagnostics if symptoms persist. This approach ensures that your cat isn't just treated, but treated correctly. Giving the wrong medication can delay recovery, stress the body, and even cause side effects that make things worse. Professional treatment: what it really looks like. Once your vet identifies the specific parasite, they'll recommend a treatment tailored to your cat's age, weight, health status, and infection level. In most cases, this involves oral or topical dewormers that are designed to eliminate the parasite safely over a set period of time. Some medications are administered in a single dose, while others require a series of treatments. That's because parasites don't all die at once. Some leave behind eggs that hatch days later. Without a second round, those new larvae can start the cycle all over again. In severe cases, especially where vomiting, dehydration, or anemia are present, supportive care may be necessary. This can include subcutaneous fluids, nutritional support, and even hospitalization for fragile cats or young kittens. It's also important to remember, deworming is not one size fits all. Using the same product on all your pets without professional advice can lead to underdosing or overdosing, both of which are dangerous. Why self-medicating is a risk. You shouldn't take some over-the-counter products claimed to work on multiple parasites. And while that sounds convenient, it's often misleading. These treatments may be too mild to fully eliminate an infestation, or they might not target the specific parasite your cat has. Even worse, improper dosages can cause side effects like vomiting, liver stress, or allergic reactions. There's also the risk of drug interactions. If your cat is already taking medications for another condition, like heart disease, diabetes, or arthritis, a new compound could trigger an unwanted response. Only a vet can assess these risks properly. And here's something many owners forget. Symptoms like vomiting, weight loss, or diarrhea aren't always caused by worms. They can also point to more serious issues like cancer, inflammatory bowel disease, or kidney dysfunction. Treating the wrong problem can waste precious time. Don't forget the environment. It's half the battle. Even after successful treatment, if you don't address the environment, reinfection is practically guaranteed. Parasite eggs can linger in litter boxes, bedding, carpets, or even on your cat's fur. That's why your vet may also recommend deep cleaning key areas in your home during and after treatment. Start by replacing all litter during the deworming period. Wash all bedding, blankets, and soft surfaces your cat touches. Clean food and water bowls daily with hot water and mild detergent. And if your cat has outdoor access, consider temporarily restricting it until the infestation is under control. Multiple cats in the same household increase the challenge. If one pet is infected, there's a good chance the others have been exposed, even if they're not showing symptoms yet. Ask your vet whether treating all household cats preventively is necessary to break the cycle. The importance of follow-up. Once your cat has completed their treatment, don't assume the danger is over. A follow-up exam may be needed to confirm that the worms, and their eggs, are completely gone. If you skip this step, a mild infestation could flare up again, sometimes stronger than before. Also, make sure to monitor your cat's weight, energy levels, and appetite over the following weeks. If anything seems off, report it to your vet immediately. Sometimes residual effects, like malabsorption or anemia, need additional care after the parasites are gone. By now, you've discovered just how dangerous and widespread worm infestations can be, and how easily they go unnoticed. But the truth is, no matter how effective the treatment, prevention is always the better path. Keeping your cat safe from parasites isn't just about dealing with infestations when they happen. It's about creating a routine that stops them from happening at all. And this is where most pet owners fall short. They wait until symptoms show up, then scramble to fix the problem. But with the right habits, tools, and awareness, you can make your home an invisible barrier against the parasites threatening your cat's well-being, and even your own health. Let's break it down. Regular deworming. Not optional. Preventive deworming isn't just for outdoor cats. Even indoor-only felines are at risk. The microscopic eggs and larvae that cause these infections can hitchhike into your home on shoes, grocery bags, insects, or other pets. And once they find their way to your cat's fur or litter box, the cycle begins. So how often should you deworm? Kittens. Start as early as 2 to 4 weeks of age, with repeated doses every 15 to 30 days, as recommended by your vet. Kittens are extremely vulnerable and can suffer serious damage from even small infestations. Adult cats. At minimum, cats should receive preventive deworming every 3 to 6 months. Cats with outdoor access or those living in multi-pet households may need monthly treatments. Senior or ill cats. These cats may require a custom deworming schedule. Older or immunocompromised cats have a harder time fighting off infestations and may need closer monitoring. Never assume your cat is safe just because they look healthy. Parasites often thrive before symptoms appear, and once they do, your cat is already suffering. Controlling fleas. The silent partner in worm infections. Most people don't realize that fleas are one of the main transmitters of tapeworms. Your cat grooms itself, swallows a flea carrying eggs, and just like that, the parasite has a new home. That's why even a single flea can be dangerous. Effective flea control includes monthly topical or oral flea treatments prescribed or recommended by your vet, vacuuming carpets and upholstery, weekly washing bedding, yours and your cat's, in hot water regularly, cleaning baseboards, windowsills, and pet-accessible corners where fleas may hide. Never skip flea prevention, especially during warmer months, or if your home has previously had an infestation. Safe feeding practices. No raw meat, no leftovers. A raw diet might seem natural, but it's a huge risk factor for worms. Raw or undercooked meats, including chicken, beef, pork, or fish, can contain parasite larvae. Cats that hunt or are fed raw prey are much more likely to get infected, even if the food appears fresh. Stick to high-quality commercial cat food, either dry or wet, cooked meats that are plain, boneless, and served in small quantities, with vet approval. Specialty diets formulated under veterinary guidance, especially for sensitive cats. Also avoid letting your cat eat insects or rodents, which are often parasite carriers. Clean litter. Clean home. Your cat's litter box is ground zero for parasite transmission. Eggs are excreted in feces and can survive for weeks in the environment, and all it takes is one paw step into a dirty box to restart the infection cycle. Follow these hygiene principles. Scoop the litter box at least once a day. Change litter completely every week, or more often during treatment periods. Disinfect the litter box monthly using a mild bleach solution and rinse thoroughly. Use gloves when handling waste and always wash your hands after. For households with multiple cats, use separate boxes whenever possible and space them apart to reduce cross-contamination. Environmental control. Invisible, but critical. Your home environment plays a massive role in either preventing or inviting worms. Parasite eggs can survive in carpets, floors, soil and potted plants, or under furniture. Regular cleaning routines are essential, especially after deworming treatments or flea outbreaks. Do this consistently. Vacuum all floors and furniture weekly. Mop hard surfaces with pet-safe disinfectants. Avoid walking indoors with outdoor shoes. Check and clean your cat's sleeping areas often. If your cat goes outside, clean their paws gently with a damp cloth when they return. It's a small effort that reduces massive risks. Don't forget, some worms infect humans. This is where things get serious and personal. Certain feline parasites like Toxocara, roundworms, can infect humans, especially young children or people with weak immune systems. Ingesting parasite eggs through contact with contaminated surfaces or through poor hygiene can lead to organ damage and other severe complications. That means your cat's health isn't just a pet issue, it's a family issue. Routine deworming and cleanliness protect everyone in your home, not just your cat. Final thoughts. Protecting what you love. Your cat can't tell you they're sick. They won't beg for help, whimper in pain, or show visible wounds. Instead, they rely on your awareness, your actions, and your commitment. Worms are silent invaders, but with the right habits they don't stand a chance. Build your routine, regular vet checkups, preventive deworming based on lifestyle monthly flea control. Clean food, clean litter, clean home. Stay consistent, and your cat will thank you, not in words, but in health, energy, and companionship that lasts for years. And if this guide helped you see your cat in a new light, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with other cat parents who may not even know their feline friend is at risk. Information saves lives and prevents suffering. Thank you for caring, and thank you for being the kind of person who reads all the way to the end.